then we'll take questions.
No comment. No, I'm kidding. I don't know how to put it into words. I don't know what more you would want in a national championship matchup than, tied at end of regulation, 2 overtime, sudden death shootouts. Just a phenomenal atmosphere, game, everything. Our team, I'm proud of them for absolutely dominating. I just, everything we've worked so hard on all season, all of the conversations we've had, every practice, they've just grown and blossomed into even more amazing hockey players than I ever could have imagined, but even greater leaders, and just people and student athletes in general. So I couldn't be prouder. I couldn't be more happy. I'm so happy it was on our home turf in front of all of our fans and friends and family and everything. Northwestern gave it their all. It was a great game. So props to them. Props to Annabelle in the cage holding down the fort. But it's nice to have the feeling of coming out on top.
Coach, talk to me about the emotions of watching Ryleigh Heck score that last night.
I mean, we like to make it exciting. Ryleigh likes to make it exciting.
Yeah.
She's, so creative. She's hard to defend because you can watch everything she does and then go out there and maybe win 1v1, but she'll learn throughout the process. So she's going to do something you don't expect. She, gets the same outcomes doing it 50, 100 different ways. So she's very unpredictable. Right, Brian?
Mm-hmm. She is. I could attest to it.
But she also knows how to finish and find the back of the net, and that's exactly what she did in the big moment today. All of the girls, they had shots, they had circle entries, they had opportunities, but sometimes they don't all fall, and no one remembers those if you're sitting here with the national championship hat on and smiling. So it's great to have had her be the one to put it away, and Maddie in the cage to completely deny the Cats.
I mean, I know during one of the penalty corners of one of the overtimes, you were on your knees, holding hands with Yasmina. When you were watching Ryleigh's last goal, what were you doing in that moment?
I am still, obviously, as you guys know, very much learning the whole coaching thing, and with that comes the emotions of the game. And I have a lot of experience handling it as a player, but I could obviously do something about it. Where I have a very different role now, and I think throughout the season I've leaned on these guys and learned from them, and they've helped me grow as well. And I think that's the only way it was possible because I had them next to me, and in a game like this, there's highs and lows, and we can try as much as we want to keep it really consistent and keep our highs low and our lows high, but it's hard when you're thrown into it. So a game like this, it took a lot of effort, and throughout the game, like I said, Northwestern had a couple breakaways, we had a couple breakaways, there was a certain score on the scoreboard, there was a certain feeling of the momentum and everything, and with that, there was lots of emotions, but I have complete and utter confidence in these guys. So in all of those moments, it was okay, I feel my heart rate going, I feel my mind going, whatever, take a deep breath because they got it. And that's exactly what was happening in the final shootout. Everyone's squeezing each other, standing there, everyone's shaking. I was literally shaking. And then it's just that second of deep breath. It's fine. And no matter what happens, this season would have been a success because of what this team did. So it's great, obviously, to put the cherry on top, but I would have been proud either way.
Absolutely. Ryleigh, can you just take me through that moment for you?
Well, just for starters, I love shootouts, and it's one of my favorite things. I did it in a very important game for USA, so I have a lot of experience. And the one thing that Erin said to me was right when Maddie had that epic save, she said, "Just go win a national championship." And right then and there, my mind just went blank, and I literally don't even remember spinning or scoring. I just remembered being with my teammates, just cheering, and one of the greatest feelings ever. So I couldn't be happier.
How much of it felt kind of a little bit like redemption after that penalty?
100% redemption. Literally, so many things going through my mind, but I just thought about, all right, next play, make mistakes. One thing my dad always told me, just say next play in your head. So.
Yeah, and Maddie, obviously you made these huge saves, and to have Ryleigh backing you up in that moment, what was that like for you?
It was amazing. I had a good feeling about it after I made that save and knew it was sudden death. I was happy that I was able to go first and kind of put it on Ryleigh's shoulder. It was her turn to end the game, so I was just like pure bliss. Like it was insane. Like just watching her spin and seeing it going over the goal line and like just knowing that it was gonna go in the time, like incredible. And I wouldn't want to have other teammate other than Ryleigh. She's incredible.
Absolutely.
Maddie, what about the 2-on-1 in the 78th minute? That was a great save. The game could have been over right there. Take me through that one.
Yeah, I saw I had one defender left, and I was just honestly hoping that Liv Bent-Cole was going to pass it across cage. I saw that Lauren Wattis received the ball head down, and I was just praying that she was going to shoot it, and it was going to hit me, and it was going to go out of the circle, which it did. And I saw Sana come get the ball, and I think that was like a real momentum swing, and I felt good after that, and I think we all had a good feeling after that, so.
Maddie, coming in from Lehigh, are moments like these why you decided to come here, and now that it's come into fruition, I guess kind of describe your emotions in the present time?
I mean, absolutely. Like when I first entered the transfer portal, I knew I wanted to come to a school with a competitive program, and seeing an email in my inbox from Coach Shelton was absolutely insane. I ran around my house. I said, guys, look what I got! Look what I got! Coach Shelton sent me an email. So yeah, this was definitely, moments like these are why anyone comes to UNC for field hockey. It's a competitive program, it's a winning program, it's a winning culture, and there's not enough good things that you could say about this program, and that's why it's going to stay competitive. That's why it's going to continue to win championships. And my emotions just like insane. I don't think it's sunk in yet. Like I need a shower. I need to get on my goalie stuff, like, and celebrate with everyone. So I don't think it's sunk in yet, and I don't think it will for a little bit longer. So.
Erin, how do you process this time last year, sitting there as a player like them, and then now here you are, the coach, with all these eyes on you and all this pressure? You guys did it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I am the one where you see Instagram posts about. I'm the one on newspapers, whatever, and my job is to represent Carolina, and I view it as a sense of getting more eyes on hockey, getting more people who care about our program. But it's easy for people around or the team or me to allow it to happen where it's the Erin show, and that's the last thing that I want. It's the last thing that is true. This team it would not have been possible without this group of individuals and people who wanted it so badly. So I can go out there, you know, and show up every day, but if these guys didn't buy in and bring their great attitudes every day, bring a winning mindset, lean on each other and grow together, it never would have worked. So for me, yeah, I know, you know, I still picture the shots that won us the national championships, and I still will forever you know, imagine the celebrations in the huddles and everything. But it is definitely something completely undescribable to hear Maddie sit here and say, you know, when the ball crossed the line, because I know what she's thinking, I know what's going through her head. For Ryleigh to say, yeah, it was redemption, you know, that feeling, I know that feeling, and I'm just purely proud that these guys get to feel it. I had my 5 years, they were phenomenal. This program, this university, Coach Shelton, she gave me everything, but now, you know, it is my job for these guys to feel that and to know that they've worked so hard and deserved it and finally earned it, and can sit here with a national championship trophy next to them. You know, it's just peace. So I'm so proud, and I just want them to relive this moment forever.
Erin, you talked about.
Is it a feeling of relief at all amid all of this
Yes.
pressure?
I would be lying if I said no. But you guys know I like pressure. We all do. We all have something a little wrong with us, and we thrive off of it. But and it's a privilege every day to put on the Carolina jersey, hat, uniform, quarter zip, whatever you want to call it, and represent this school. So we love the pressure. We thrive off of moments like this and sold out stadiums and high intensity and sudden death shootouts. But yeah, it's nice to be able to sit back and say, okay, I don't need to plan practice Monday, and you know, these guys can finally let their legs rest. Yeah, definitely
You
some
saw-
really.
You saw Karen after.
Yes.
What was that like? And
She's just proud. She really is enjoying being a grandmother and golfing and playing pickleball and hanging with the alums. And hey, she did this for 42 years. I tell her, I'm like, how did you do this for 42 years? No, but it's just great to see her, so invested, but striking that balance so perfectly of allowing me to do my thing. And yes, she's a mentor. I will always lean on her. I will always learn from her. I have years and years and years to do that. You never stop learning. But for her to, have that trust in this group and this staff and me, it means a lot. So to see her really enjoying it is also just such a special part of it. And she just loves these guys going out there and doing their thing. And we're just happy that, again, yes, there's so many reasons we do it for, and she's one of them.
You talk about the emotions and feeling the pressure, but looking at you on the sidelines, you're standing there with your hands in your pockets most of the time, really calm. Is that just to keep your team calm? Tell me what goes into that.
Yeah, well, my hands are in my pocket because my hands get really cold and I have hand warmers. So, and I'm shaking and trying to fake it. So I'm glad at least it seems like I'm calm. I don't really know how to describe it either. Every coach feels it, I'm sure. It's that weird, yes, I'm calm, and yes, 100% a piece of it is so that the team is calm and feels that just steadiness, but at the same time freaking out. You want everything to go right, and it's purely because you want it so badly for them, at least for me. But then again, the other side is I have total belief and trust, and these guys have prepared like no other team in the country. They play hockey like no other team in the country. They are part of a family like no other program has. So I don't really know how to describe it. It's definitely nerve-wracking. It's definitely intense. But then at the same time, it's those moments of deep breaths to just say, I believe in us.
What were you thinking when you were behind in the shootout?
I didn't even.
Yeah, we were.
I was just thinking about the
up
next
2-1.
one, making it the next one.
And then we came back.
I actually no, yeah, Katie went out there and I was like, she needs to make this for us to continue, and she did. But again, like Ryleigh said, it's a blur.
It's definitely.
I'm sure I would have had a different answer for you if we lost, but luckily we don't need to think about that.
Ryleigh and Maddie, what was it like for you guys as players to kind of deal with the spotlight that was put on the program with Erin being the first-year head coach?
I mean, I'm still kind of new here, so I think Ryleigh has a better answer than me. Everything was a huge adjustment for me, so I don't really have an answer, but Erin's great. She shot me a text when she got the coaching job, and I was excited. We chit-chatted on the phone, so I had total faith and confidence in her being my coach. So, yeah.
I mean, coming off of my freshman year playing with Erin and now her my coach, definitely learned a lot from her. I mean, she's been through it all experiences, and now I'm a sophomore, obviously, and just learning and adapting and trying new things and trying my best. And definitely it's just an amazing feeling to just be one of those people that can do this for your team and knowing that your team has your back. And yeah.
Did you feel almost an obligation or a duty to make sure that this didn't fail? There was a lot of pressure, a lot riding on this. Did you guys feel that as players?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of pressure, but I think that as a player, I don't put too much pressure on myself because that's when things do fail for me. Everyone is obviously different. But I try to just stay calm and poised and try my best to make a good outcome. So, I mean, missing a stroke, obviously, is not the best thing, but in the end, I made both my shootouts, which I'm super grateful for. So,
for Ryleigh and Maddie, in the overtime periods that's going on over an hour of hockey, I mean, is it just pure adrenaline that you guys are running on? It had to be dead legs at some point, right?
100% adrenaline for me. I thrive off of adrenaline, so I love it.
Yeah, I think adrenaline, but I mean, Ryleigh's running around a lot more than I am. For me, it's a mental locked inness that gets tiring over time. But yeah, for sure, definitely adrenaline, and then going to the shootouts where I had to do a lot, definitely just pure adrenaline to get it done.
And that Northwestern shot went in with 30 seconds left. Did you know, right off the bat, that it was going to be ruled illegal? in regulation.
Oh yeah, it was way too high to ever be considered a goal. It has to hit the backboard, and it
Yeah.
hit so far up the net that it was gonna be disallowed.
Erin, you knew pretty much
Yes.
instantaneously.
Yeah, I had a little heart attack when they stopped the time. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
But no, it was definitely, yeah.
Erin, this is I think the first national title to be ended in penalty strokes in 29 years. When you put that into context and just how crazy the game was with the stakes that were at play, is this the wildest game that you've been a part of, either as a coach or a player?
That's a hard question. Definitely one of them. They're all wild in different ways, I think. But yeah, in so many senses, the fans and the crowd and the way the game was going, the spotlight on the program, if you want to call that. There's a bunch of different things that went into this year's, but then looking back on past years that I was fortunate to be a part of, Ryleigh was, and then of course the ones that the alums were a part of, I'm sure we could sit up here and argue for hours on which one was the craziest and wildest, but definitely in a while. Yeah.
Can you reflect on the season, the media onslaught? I've seen you on national interviews several times, and just the spotlight that's been on you all year, and to still come through with the national championship.
Sure. I take the same mindset I did as a player. It's part of my job. We are lucky to have a platform, whether it's on social media or, writing a blog or doing interviews, whatever it is. When you win, people pay attention, and that's, you either want it or you don't, and usually if you don't, you're not successful. So we love the fact that we've been able to be so successful over the years, and with that comes attention and pressure and cameras, microphones. So it's part of it, and I will always do it to the best of my ability to make sure that I represent this program well, and that these guys feel like they are a part of something that people want to pay attention to. The more we can make them feel like superstars, the better, and if I get a chance to brag about them or brag about what we do here, then I think it's a great time.
Erin, when I was coming into the stadium, there was a line of students standby, stretching up Ridge Road. I mean, you mentioned it at the top, but what can you just say about the hockey culture on this campus?
We've told these guys, I've said it multiple times to them, they've completely changed the game. You see more people turning on a field hockey game when they're out at a restaurant or out at a bar, and you see hockey and you're like, that's not normal. You see sold out in the same sentence as field hockey games. That has not been normal. You see a stands full like this, and the hill full, and this grass full, and then people standing basically on the road that they can see one corner of the field, but they're here. It's something that America hasn't seen, I don't know, ever, but it's because of what they've done and what this entire program and staff has done. So it's just phenomenal. We're lucky. This town has always created an energy around hockey that's unlike any other. This university, to even have the argument of we're a field hockey school, and that be a joke. You don't hear that at other schools. So it's special here, and then to have seen this season completely exploded nationally has been a reward.
Ryleigh, how's it been going from teammate to coach this season?
I think that it made me probably one of the best players I can be. Just being on the same field as Erin, playing next to her, learning from her in just one season, and then her becoming the coach and literally doing the same thing, except obviously as a coach, it's playing for one of the best players or the best player in the world is just an epic experience, and I'm so grateful. And I think that she is showing people all over the world that she's doing something impossible, and it's proven because we just won a national championship, and I give her full credit, and I'm so grateful that she's our coach and could not pick anyone else.
Do we have one question in the back?
Yeah. Coach, you had 2 goalies on the roster this season, both who have earned playing time. What made you put your trust in Maddie to start for the majority of the season, and specifically today in the championship game?
Sure. Every season, these guys know whether they're a senior, 5th year, freshman, playing time is never guaranteed, it's earned. We thrive off of pressure and big moments, we thrive off of the competitive nature. It's what we breed here, it's what works. So every single preseason, who did the work over the summer, who showed up fit, who's showing up, and at the beginning of the season, we were figuring out different lineups and different rotations and seeing who works, and the team had trust in us putting different people in different positions and at different moments. And at the beginning of the season, it was, all right, Abigail, Maddie, you guys fight it out. And they did a wonderful job with it. They had such a great atmosphere between the two of them all season. I attribute it to both of them for being so mature throughout it. And at the end of the day, Maddie stepped up in those big moments early on and has been able to withstand that the entire season. So there was, never a doubt in our mind that she was going to be a solid rock back there. And then after, I don't know how many games, a couple games, she proved that she earned it and deserved it. And we never looked back.
One more question? Go.
For Coach and Ryleigh, just in general for the offense during both overtime periods and regulation, what was making it so hard to find the back of the cage again?
The obvious answer is Annabelle in the cage. She's one of the best goalkeepers of in the country, and she, like Maddie, steps up and puts the team on her back in certain moments. So she's a force. We knew we had to go around her. I think with us, we focused a lot on possession throughout overtime. So having the ball, it's 100% passes only. It's okay, let's pick our moment when we have numbers and when we can go, but trying not to make it a ping pong match and just trying to be really smart on the ball. And I think the team did great with that. We had some opportunities, but whether it was a shot that was barely off target or Annabelle coming up with a great save, everything happens for a reason. So I guess God just wanted an exciting ending for the fans.
For Ryleigh,
Well, just being out there, we're all tired, going through adrenaline, just our heads are just back and forth, and our goal is we work on overtime a lot in practice, and we do to keep possession of the ball and pick our moments, and that's what we tried to do and couldn't get an outcome. I played with Annabelle on the U21 team, and she's a rock star. She kills it internationally and here, so I definitely give her props for that. And I think that our finish was just who wanted it more, and we came out with the outcome. So
Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys.
thank you.